The Retro Buzz starts right after this.
Hey guys, it's Friday, so it's time for the Retro Buzz, the show that talks everything that has to do with retro gaming, arcades, consoles, new and old. Speaking of old, we have with us
How did I know that was going to happen?
not this
know.
not this. I was talking about old, the Panasonic 3DO. I'm
good
saddened.
save.
I just very saddened. But
Well, we'll get it fixed.
we will. So
You don't throw
I'll get
away
to that
old
later.
things, man. You fix them.
That's right.
Fix them.
I'm not throwing it away. I opted. I was gonna sell it, but I'm gonna keep it. But we've got Mr. Glenn Planamento with us in his awesome 3DO going on there. We also have with us Mr. Douglas Smith, who is being inundated by people roaming around his house trying to fix things.
So I'll find out after the show if I still got a TV and video games, and if I just come downstairs to an empty house. Looks like movers took everything. Looters, pilfering. I don't know. We'll see.
That absolutely could happen. And then we also have Daniel, who's over there giving Glenn a hard time.
My nemesis.
Glenn, you're like 1,000 years old now, so happy birthday. It's not his birthday, but he actually is 1,000.
Well, we've got some cool things going on, and so
Lots to talk about.
Let's talk a little bit, but before we get into some of this, so the elephant in the room, right? So last week we didn't have a show because I had some surgery. It's not really the elephant in the room, it'd be the nose in the room. So you can see I am still recovering. I have a bandage on, and I want you guys to be part of this journey. For those that don't know, I did suffer from a condition called rhinophyma, which is an enlargement of the nose, and I actually had a lot of it removed back to my normal size. So the bandage makes it look a lot bigger than it is because it protects it from getting whacked. But if I showed you it, Glenn and Doug have seen it. It kind of looks like it went through a meat grinder. That's the best way I can explain it. Like they singed
Grinded
it
up
off
meat.
and burned it, and
It looked like you went out skateboarding in the front and
road rash.
took a nose dive, literally. Got some
Yeah.
road
Well, you
rash.
got the 3DO. You were playing Road Rash on 3DO. Is that what you were doing?
No, I didn't get that
Good
game
for you.
yet, but that'll be coming soon. So hopefully, but
He's working on it.
I'm working on it. So hopefully in the next, I think they said about a week healing time. I showed the doctor today, and it's looking like maybe another week or two that I'll have the bandage on. So I'm fine. I'm not in any pain or anything like that. But that's why we didn't have the show last week. And I was gonna do a YouTube video about it, but then I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm not looking for internet sympathy, and I'm just not that person. So all is well. It wasn't a cosmetic thing. I mean, that does help, but it was more or less my nasal passages were closing up. My wife was really concerned, so we felt like now's the time to take care of it. So
Well, you got a couple of kids using the bathroom. Might not have been a bad idea, dude.
well, the good thing though was all my life I suffered with acne, which I thought was the case. But when I went to the doctor, they said I suffered from rosacea. So everything, that's why none of the acne medication worked for me all these years, is because they were treating the wrong thing. They should have been treating that. So even today, I'm not wearing any makeup, and you can see my complexion is matching. It's because they've been having me on medication. So that's the other thing that'll slowly start fixing that as well. So I'm really excited to see the outcome, and you guys along for the journey, the ride. I'm sure I'm going to get some haters that didn't watch the show. They're going to see a picture. They're going to be like, what's up with this guy? It's fine. I totally get it. You guys are all here to hear us talk. You don't want to hear about my nose. That's
They're
fine.
of course referring to Glenn when they say that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
I'm one of the haters on Glenn.
I figured as much. I figured as much.
I had not noticed.
He's
oh
the
my
one
God,
that's giving us
news
the
to
thumbs
me.
down. Didn't you know that? He comes
Yeah,
in here.
instantly.
No, I come
Because
in.
I'm on the show. I get it.
I come in and I see Glenn on something, and I'm just like, boo!
And he has a tendency to yell into the microphone. We're working on that. But
Glenn's a loser.
let's kind of get into this a little bit here. So we titled the show today Pinball. And I'm going to kind of let Doug take this over because he was the one that broke it earlier this week. He lives on GameStop, I swear. I think he does that because he wants to try to make me spend money. But talk about it, Doug.
I'm just trying to single-handedly keep GameStop in business. Let's be real.
Okay, we'll give it to you.
Everybody's been crying wolf and saying, GameStop's going to be going out of business for the last 3 years. Eventually, they will go out of business. Let's be real. Their business model, unless they change things, can't sustain itself, especially with modern consoles continuously pushing towards digital-only content. But anyways, GameStop was the first and only person to put up a pre-order for an arcade one-up pinball machine, and a lot of people got surprised and excited about that, and they immediately pulled it down, and now they just put it back up like an hour ago. So it's literally been a very emotional up and down roller coaster with GameStop and arcade one-up's pinball machine. It's the first time we got to see the price of the $549. Arcade one-up originally said $500, and they said, well, under $600. So it looks like they just split the middle. But originally, when the arcade one-up pinball, the Marvel pinball table went up on GameStop, it had an ETA of November, and now it's showing April 30th, 2021, and that's still potential up in the air. John D had already kind of commented, said pinball is happening this year. It just looks like maybe GameStop doesn't know what they're doing, or they just literally got it placeholder.
No.
I mean, we all know that they can change that date literally with the click of a button, so I wouldn't worry about that date. It's just one of those things, like, if you really want that Marvel pinball, go ahead and pre-order it, because worst case scenario, you get it April 30th. Best case scenario, you get it in 2020 sometime, and it's an early Christmas present. So,
well, that's what I was going to ask. I wanted to get the panel's thoughts on this. Glenn, do you buy this, or do you wait for the Star Wars and or even if you don't want a Star Wars, the Attack from Mars? I know there's a lot of people that want that one. Do you hold out and go for it?
Well, for me, I really like the Star Wars, but I don't like the right half. That's it's no secret. So the Marvel's another one I do like. I really like the Marvel characters. The Mars one, I know a lot of people like it. I don't have any real connection to it. So I might bite on the Marvel one, just because, again, with the Star Wars one, I really despise half that artwork. that much.
All right, Daniel. Do we wait for Star Wars? Do we do the Attack from Mars, or do we get the Marvel pinball?
I'll suggest wait for the Star Wars.
Good man.
Because I don't they might add a new add-on to it later on in the year, and you don't know about the Marvel, if they're gonna add on or if they're gonna just keep it like that.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a little bit here, because there's a lot of people that are kind of So, Doug, you're saying go ahead, take your shot. John D says we're getting pinball this year. A lot of the companies are saying, Act Games is saying the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want it, there's no reason not to pre-order it. If you don't want it and you're just like jonesing for some pinball, wait. I mean, there's no sense in just plopping down a pre-order just because it's the one of the first ones out there. If you really want Star Wars, wait for Star Wars. I mean, for all we know, it could be next Monday popping up pre-order for Walmart or Best Buy. They've been saying that pinball is going to happen in 2020, and until they prove us wrong, I mean, we can just take them at their word and say, okay, let's hold out hope for pinball. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm holding out for Star Wars.
Well, so Act Games said the same thing as well. Act Games says we're getting pinball before the end of the year. I know Legend Center, we kind of wrapped that up. But they're still telling us pinball's coming before the end of the year. So I'm kind of holding out hope. I rearranged my game room so that I could have room for that.
He added a shelf.
One thing that came out.
He
Yeah.
added a whole shelf.
Oh, no, I added the
You
shelf
put
to
that
make
pinball
room.
machine on that shelf?
Because I had boxes laying on the floor for all the different game consoles to kind of look cool. And then I had to, like he said, I had to get a shelf, and now it's stacked to the ceiling with console boxes. One of the things that people were really irritated about, though, that we found out that there's no Wi-Fi in this. I feel like you're
Yep.
going backwards, Arcade 1-Up. Like
Yep.
you throw out Jam, and I saw some pictures floating around, which I'm surprised there's no videos about it yet on YouTube, that there was a Street Fighter in the picture of the Kickstarter for the Infinity Table that said it was live connected, right? So we're safe to assume maybe that's coming eventually. Do you guys think, Glenn, we'll start with you on this one. Do you think it was a mistake that they did not include Wi-Fi? And if you do think it's a mistake, why?
Well, the first thing is one of the original selling points when we were talking about this way back when was that it was online connected, right? That it was upgradable that way. They could push updates like the NBA Jam. It came out great, the NBA Jam, but there were some little glitches in there that they could push easier. Now, yes, these new boards, there's a USB connector on there, so there's going to be a way to obviously connect it, and update firmware that way. But it's definitely less convenient, and not everyone's going to be able to handle that. And also different things like leaderboards or pushing your scores. I mean, one of the big things we're seeing with the NBA Jam and the games is people really dig the leaderboards. It's very 80s, if you will, having that high score and having those bragging rights of getting a really good score in a game. So I think it's a little bit, I don't want to say a disservice, but like I said, going backwards. All of the machines coming out now will kind of have some kind of online connectivity, and it was touted as an option. It fell off the map. I'm a little disappointed about that. Will it stop me from getting one? No. But it is a disappointment that in the grand scheme of the pricing of the machine, I don't know, $549. The Wi-Fi, you're talking $1, something very inexpensive to put in there. So for me, it's a little disappointing, but I'm sure they had a reason, and maybe we'll find out what that reason is, that it fell off the map.
Well, it's like Vince says, and I want to get Doug's thoughts on this as well. He says, I can't believe Zen didn't force Wi-Fi on those leaderboards at the very least. Doug, I mean, step backwards?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Like I said, we go and we get NBA Jam and we get this awesome, online capable thing. We like it. And from that point on, we kind of expect and want to see it on every iteration of every machine going forward. The Infinity Game Table, it's got online Wi-Fi capabilities, pinball machine, it's going to be their flagship item for probably at least a year. Doesn't have Wi-Fi, doesn't have online capabilities. So yeah, it does feel like a step backwards, but it's a little tongue-in-cheek too, because it does kind of line up with Star Wars as a whole, because what is Star Wars really good at? Re-releasing the same old thing and slightly tweaking it and making you buy it again.
You mean like Pac-Man?
Why does Star Wars
like
Pinball
Miss
not have
Pac-Man.
Wi-Fi? So they can give you the deluxe edition in 3 months from Costco or another place, and it's got Wi-Fi, and it doesn't have Ray, and it's got Jar Jar this time or something like that.
Isn't that what
God.
Daniel said that to me earlier? Like, because I got the Miss Pac-Man cabinet and it showed up, and Daniel goes, "Which one did you get?" I said, "Miss Pac-Man." He goes, "No, which one did you get?" And I'm like, he's like, "Doug just posted. There's like what
11 of them. Yeah.
11 of them." He's like, "Well, which?" I said, "Well, I got the one from Walmart." And he goes,
Mhm.
"Okay," because he's like, "There's like, what did you say? There's like a bunch of them out there or
Yeah.
something like that." And that was before I even got to see it. So, but
And like, I'm like, well, like, why is there 11 of them when you can only get 2? Like, why not just buy the whole collection?
yeah, like I don't know,
Well-
I don't understand that, the multiple titles.
Well, my thing is, why have 10 when you can have 11?
Glenn, don't
Yeah.
get my dad spending money again, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to make room.
That's Steven's
Well,
college fund.
that's the one
going up.
thing. Doug, get your father to spend money on the new type of toys.
Yeah.
I'm here to make your father spend money on stuff that breaks, is old, and he's got to spend
Yeah.
more money to fix. That's what I
Yeah.
do.
But you know what?
There you
It's worth it though, because
Yeah.
like I said, I was playing with it earlier. But I'm curious, what do you guys think in the chat room? Do you think that it's a step backwards? Is this going to deter you from buying the Arcade 1-Up machine? Listen, we're not slamming Arcade 1-Up. I'm sure they have their reasons. I'm sure we're going to find out eventually.
Yeah.
They might come on the show. But I want to know from you, is this a deal breaker for you? Not having Wi-Fi, is that a deal breaker for you? Tell us in the chat room. We want to know why, if it is a deal breaker. Like I said, at Games, they're still planning on going with Wi-Fi. And before we transition to the other story with the Arcade 1-Up, I want to kind of stick with the pinball here and talk about the well-played pinball. Doug, you broke that a while ago and talked about them coming to market, and I think you posted the link, for $4.99 for these, right?
Yep, $4.99. They popped up on GameStop on Sunday, I believe it was. So the day before Arcade One Up, which really made it feel like a kind of a pinball shootout, so to speak. But they first premiered their new lineup of products at New York Toy Fair over the spring season, right before, or right as kind of COVID kind of popped off and shut the world down. Everyone kind of assumed that Well Played Toys had been written off the map because of COVID, and it looks like they're here to stay and here to play. Full pun intended there. But it's a very similar kind of story and background as Arcade One Up, a company that kind of focuses on other toys and niche items that's kind of dipping their toes in the retro gaming market. So it'll be interesting to see what they've got. Their arcade, or they've got a pinball table, a tabletop pinball table, and then like a little micro arcade console, and then a coffee table Android tablet type of thing going on. So they got some interesting items. Pinball machine looks to be kind of in that 3/4 scale as Arcade One Up's doing, and At Games is doing a slightly larger 24-inch playfield screen, plunger, 27 built-in games, the ability to add more games. So they're what they appear to be doing is all the right things that people have been asking for. Whether it turns out to be anything good or bad, the community will have to decide in the long run.
Well, that's Glenn. That's what I want to check with you on, because you and Doug, neither of you took the plunge on the Toy Shock.
That sounds
Right.
like kind of entertaining.
I took the plunge on the Toy Shock. It gets a lot of play. A couple months ago, and I'm not complaining here. So if the Toy Shock people are watching this, this isn't a complaint. This is an observation, because I don't want people thinking I'm coming across complaining about these companies. I get it. We're in a pandemic. A couple months ago, they came out and said, "Hey, we've got brand new boards for you guys. It's going to cost you $10." Hey, great.
Mm-hmm.
Gave them the $10. I'm not sitting. There's a lot of people I see in these forums that are going, "They still have my $10 and they haven't shopped." It's like, really? Okay. They haven't sent the
Atari's got a lot more of your money. It's been years. Atari.
they haven't sent this board out, right? So here it is. It's we heard a little bit after. I think it was 2 weeks after they came out and said, "Oh, we accidentally gave it to the manufacturer. They're putting them in the new tables." Okay, and then it's been crickets ever since. My question for this:
I was gonna say,
is this pinball table, the new one that's coming here with this company, Well Played, is this another Toy Shock in your opinion, Glenn? Do you see them going down the same path as Toy Shock is? Yeah, they're an option, but they're not gonna be number one.
You know what? Can't really answer that. They're new on the market. Don't know anything really about them. Nothing's been on the market yet. So I don't know if you can really answer that. We'd have to wait and see till it actually gets in the hands of some people and it gets out there. We could just say that from Toy Shock's perspective, from the endpoint of a customer, they came out of nowhere and they got a unit that was pretty good. I mean, for the price point, they were the first ones out there. We get it. They get a little more slack for being first and testing the waters out. But the $10 thing, that does get to my skin a little bit. And then to say you accidentally send them to the manufacturer, not a very good customer relations thing at all. Now again, it's $10. Is it breaking the bank? No, but it's still people's money, But there are a lot of other items out there, like I said, Atari's had hundreds of dollars of people's money for a multitude of years, and they're still saying it's any day now. It was supposed to be in people's hands by now. Actually, some people should have gotten them. So that's what gets under the skin. For me personally, $10 is not really horrible, but for them to come out and say we accidentally sent the boards we're going to send you guys that you paid for to make more machines is not a good response in any way, shape, or form. Bad PR.
Doug?
I just don't understand it. Like, if you accidentally send them, have them send it back, or what's the manufacturer doing? Like, can they not make a board themselves? Like, I would have to know more details about that relationship to begin with. But it just sounds like such an odd statement that, hey, we made these new improved boards, we sent it to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer put them in our new machines. It's like, okay, but then what was the manufacturer going to put in the new machines to begin with if they didn't have new boards? That's where I get confused.
They need to communicate
Doesn't add
more.
up.
Daniel, go ahead.
With them saying they accidentally threw it to the a cabinet thing, I think they actually did that on purpose.
Yeah, no, I kind of was thinking that too. Like, they knew all along it was going to go to that manufacturer for the new cabinets.
And like they're saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and like they're not even sorry.
Well, let's surmise this, right? Let's throw this out there. I know he's my son. What can you expect? Let's throw this out there. Let's go a little bit of conspiracy theory. What if the initial announcement of doing the $10 was to judge how many people actually wanted a new board or who was going to play it as it was?
How many people noticed?
How many people noticed? I wonder if it was partly due to they wanted to see how many people actually noticed. Was it really that bad? Because I would have to venture to guess it was under 50 people that applied to do this. I would have to venture to guess that. Was that fair assessment? You guys in the chat room, do you agree with that? I think they wanted to see what their ratio of quote unquote failure rate, like most companies do. They do a percentage of failure rate. And yeah, they're giving it you $10, but they weren't really going to do that. Where they were going to say, buy the new cabinet if you want it fixed. And most people, like myself, is it bad? I notice it now after playing Zen Pinball and some of the other ones. But you know what? I get people every Saturday in here playing this cabinet. Nobody complains about it. They play the at games. And the worst was playing the at games one over Bluetooth when you're running at high quality because the latency on it. You hit the button and you're waiting for the flippers to go. You're watching it. And at games knows it. They tell you, they're working on it. But people still played it. So the reality is the guys that are outside of our little circle here that watch our shows and all the other shows out there and that are enthusiasts, do they really care?
Some yes, some no. I mean, it really depends. Like, you'll get so many people, like the Ninja Turtles cabinet with Arcade 1-Up. Like, I bet I could probably line up 10 of my friends that grew up on Ninja Turtles, the cartoon series, and turn on the arcade cabinet and go, "What do you think of that, intro music?" And they go, "Oh, it's great, just like I remembered it." And I go, "Oh, but it's 95% there, but there's 5% change." And they would go, "Huh?"
Right.
Because
that's it.
And yeah, they would just go, "Well, does it play the game?" I'll go, "Well, yeah." And they'll go, "Okay, then." But there's still, again, 5% of the people out there that would notice it and say that's a deal breaker. So
and NBA Jam too, right? I mean, I've had people over here and they played it. Not one person has said to me, it's missing players.
Yeah. Where's Reggie Miller?
I've not had one person say to me, it's Michael Jordan must not be on this one. Or, like you said, Reggie Miller's not on this one. The mentality is it's nostalgia. So chances are these guys aren't. Listen, I'm not making excuses for these guys. That's not the intention, but all these cabinets are emulated. They're not the original hardware. So,
or like Travis Scott.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reality is people come in here, they have a good time, they play it. At the end of the day, they go home happy. So, I guess that's like, the slack I'm trying to give Toy Shock.
The experience.
Yeah. Yeah, right. The experience. I get it. I do. But then there's the us, right, that want it perfect. We want it right.
You don't want it.
You're never going to get that. You're never going to get that in the price point that these companies are doing it at. They're basically giving you the nostalgia, like I said, overall better experience. I mean, God, when I was a kid, you had VFDs, man. You want to see a person, you had one position, two position. That was it. So they really come a long way. So for someone like me to see these games and these price points, I think it's fantastic. But if the diehard people, and we know that these are not. None of these are going to be for the purist diehard people. They're not.
Nope.
And they're the ones who do a lot of the, I don't say complaining, because they have a right to their opinion, but that's not what these machines were targeted for. If you want that diehard experience, expect to spend a couple of $1,000s to get it. You can get it, but it's not going to be something you can walk into a Walmart, or Walmart's going to even carry at a price point people are going to buy them at.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And that's something too. Okay, so I have in here, let's see if I can get the joystick going the right way here. Yep, we're going to move it over here. So this is coming up here. I have sitting here the MVSX. I'm one of the last
finish up with
few
that,
people.
Please?
Yeah,
My God,
listen
man.
to him.
So and you're the one to speak.
The biggest issue that I've seen with this, and everybody's been saying, "Oh, this MVSX, it's all emulated. It's not a real good." And I want to pose this. Doug didn't say that. Doug said for what it was good, and that's. I want to put it out there. For what it is, it's great. But if you're a hardcore Neo Geo fan, this is not for you. That's my first statement.
if you're the person that likes the arcade 1-up and is happy with that kind of, setup, quality, price point, and everything, you're going to be happy with that. If you're a diehard MVS fan and you're just tried and true Neo Geo Big Red, then number one, you probably already have one.
No.
Number two, if you don't, you've got the Neo Geo console in your house somewhere, and you don't need to mess with this to begin with. I mean, it's just you can be a fan of both, but typically diehard fans on one spectrum or the other are not going to cross.
Right.
No. If you're a tryhard on Metal Slug, then never get that. Never.
He actually was playing this. He's played this more than me so far. Okay.
I'm a tryhard.
Now, let me ask you, Daniel. You've been playing the Metal Slug there, and you played it on the Legends.
Yeah.
Does it play the same?
Well, to be honest, the Neo Geo actually plays like a little smoother for a console that's for
So I would
like
have to agree
desk.
with him on that. I think it plays a little bit smoother on the MVX as opposed to the AT games. Now, I don't know if it's just the ROM that they're using or I don't know.
Are they copying or?
But I will say it plays about the same as our mini ones that we have. Would you guys agree?
And I like that one. I don't know. I don't have mine yet.
No. But Doug, hey, your name's not even on the thing to send it to. So
I know. You had to look at the bottom of the receipt all the way at the bottom. Move these things out of the way. The little what are those?
There's no paper.
Peanuts,
there was no
and
paper.
then in the bottom you'll find me in there.
There was no papers in it. So,
Of course.
But Doug, you had it compared to your little one. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, the
that
mini,
it's
it's the same
very
thing.
close, if not the same.
I mean, like if you enjoy those experiences, you're gonna be happy with this. Like if you're looking for the exact arcade experience, you're going to have to shell out the money and buy a Big Red and a 4-slot or something like that and get the tried and true real thing. If you're happy with emulation and you enjoy the way it's been played on like the Neo Geo Mini, the way you can play it on a computer on ROMs, things like that, and you just want the minimalist arcade space and feel and setup and price point, well then this is your option.
And I like it. It's a bar top
thing,
that it fits right there.
Yeah.
Right.
But it does
the big
come.
thing to remember also is when you want the real thing, be prepared for monitor replacements, monitor recapping, lots of maintenance, especially in the Neo Geos. People tell you those monitors go, and they are expensive. So you got to really put this in perspective. Right, and very heavy. With Street Fighter, you have it. I have a Zaxxon here. It's 400 pounds. So you're going to take that into consideration. If you're going to go down that path, it's much more than just having the original machine. You got to maintain that thing. These things are 30, 20, 40 years old. So you got to take that into account versus a smaller thing put in your desk that has the but it's got the overall look of it. I mean, that's what you're going for. You want to say, look, it looks kind of like it. It plays kind of like it. It's close enough.
But it's
that's
not
the mentality you have to have.
Right.
No,
but it's not really it.
It's like ladies, there's only one me out there. You can go for a cool toy, you can go for the handsome guy, but you ain't gonna be getting all this unless you're going for all this. All right?
Dude, please shut up about the girlfriend. You need to shut up. Just like right now.
You need to be quiet.
He sounds like my date. So very good, Dan.
So let's talk about price point now. This is something that let's switch off of this because high price point is not something we're used to seeing from Arcade 1-Up. Cool. So I do want to congratulate our Arcade 1-Up because we do want to talk about what we talked about last week with the Infinity Table. So we're talking about emulation. We're talking about games that you can get that are widely available. Arcade 1-Up has almost $700,000 pledged with 44 days to go. I think that's bigger than what they thought.
How is that even possible?
But one thing I'm a little disappointed about is originally when they came out, didn't they say the 24-inch was going to be $399, the 32 was going to be $499, and I was like, that's a no-brainer. I'm sold.
Yep.
Yep. Now we come to find out that that's not the case at all. Now we find out that I think it's what, $599 for the 24-inch, and it's going to retail at $699, and then the 32-inch is you can get it for $699, and it's going to retail at $799. Sorry, guys.
32 is the Glenn's edition. That's the Glenn edition.
I want the 32-inch as well, but I'm not paying $799 for it. That's a deal breaker. I think they missed the mark on the prices. I know people have backed it.
Yep, they have, and congratulations to them. But on Kickstarter, the whole point of Kickstarter is really to give an exceptional value, to get that product off the ground. So if they're doing the Kickstarter at those prices, I don't even want to know what's going to sell at retail. Myself, I think it's nice. I think it's a nice machine, but it's out of my price range. That's for sure.
Well, let me bring this up too before you guys give commentary on, because Adam, I don't know if Adam is in the chat room right now, but kudos to Adam. He had given me this screenshot here that David McIntosh was asked under. Let me see here. Or I don't know if P-Dubs posted it. Maybe P-Dubs posted it.
Oh, well then
Okay,
never listen.
No. This is actually good. So I want to give credit. I didn't see it, but Adam got it to me. It was from P-Dubs, I think, on one of his posts.
Are you talking about the warranty?
The warranty. And this is what I wanted to ask people. So I want to make sure whoever gets credit gets credit. But Adam sent it to me. I guess it was a screenshot off of P-Dubs. Blair Elliott had asked, I understand your 14-day policy regarding shipping damage DOA. Is there a 90-day warranty period like the arcade units? Please clarify. And this is what David McIntosh had to say. The 14-day policy is all we can honor at this time. That for a 800 and some with tax, almost 900. That's that kind of makes me iffy.
Finally.
Do you like to gamble?
I mean, what do you guys think?
A lot.
What do you think, Doug? I mean, is that bad news?
Oh yeah, it's terrible news. Honestly, I mean, there's no other way to describe it. 14 days for that much money. That doesn't give me a lot of confidence. The only analogy I can think of is like, I've got a stupid expensive phone like most Americans do. I don't have an insurance plan for it, but I also have a 1-year warranty. So like, if I drop it, the stupid thing, it's all my fault. However, if there's a manufacturer defect with it, I'm not out my money. 14 days, that is not a lot of time. Like, yeah, sure, you could break your infinity table and that be on you, but 14 days, day 15, the thing shorts out when you plugged it in the wall and you're stuck with the bill. No, I'm sorry. Electronics, especially anything over $500, for crying out loud,
right, definitely
needs way more than a 14-day warranty for it. I don't care what company you are, big, small, little, whatever. You need more than 14 days. There's no other way to cut that.
The minimum most people would do is 90 days. I mean, that's kind of a pretty common thing, especially that price point. I mean, I think it should be more. Like, I do think it should be a year for something like this for that price point. But 14 days, I think, is not good.
Especially with Arcade 1-Up's QA. I'm sorry. Somebody has to say it. I'll be the bad guy. I'll say it. I don't care. Their quality. Bobby Vu in the chat room says, hard pass for me. Bobby, can this be built cheaper? My guesstimation is, it can.
Oh, everything, yeah. I mean, everything can be. You can build the Arcade 1-Ups cheaper. It's just
with quality, with the same type of quality. I mean, I'm not handy with the.
Well, I do think that this is priced very high for what I know at this point. Like, I don't have it. I haven't seen it firsthand. But for me, you have a 32-inch monitor, touchscreen, and probably an Android board in there running the software. I think it's a very high price point. There you go. So I think for that, again, licensing, I get it. Got to deal with manufacturers. They got to pay a little bit on that. I still think that it's an extremely high price point, personally, and it's a pass for me.
Yeah. So
I like the idea. I like the concept. I was in on it at the original guesstimated price points. These price points are a little too rich for my blood, and the 14-day warranty has me doing the whole Shark Tank.
But
for this reason, I'm out.
But like, what if like the 16th day, the chip in the thing in the console that made it work fried out? How are you gonna fix that?
Well, that's exactly what P-Dubs is saying here. What happens on day 15 when somebody bakes it playing Hungry Hippo? Hey, no, it's a valid question. It's a very valid question. I mean, Hungry Hippos.
No, I can just picture him playing Hungry Hippos. I just see P-Dubs doing that all day long. I can see it.
But he makes a good point.
That's a QA test right there, because people are literally just gonna go.
Exactly. You're gonna sit there and
right.
And is it gonna have plastic?
Playing Hungry Hippos like this.
Is it plastic on the top, like the pinball table is?
Well, whoa! If it's that price point, that's not a glass top on there.
I believe it's
glass.
That's
kidding me. That's got to be glass.
I would hope it's glass. I mean, but okay. So you have that as you know, the price point, $800. A lot of guys are saying that's a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker for me. $500. I would have dropped $500 on it. I would have been a backer. I would have been one of those guys that are mashing buttons. And I do want to say this real quick before we go further, because I know Bobby Boo's watching.
But
I want to say thank you to him, because I pre-ordered this, and we'll get to this later.
Hey.
Yes, the Mario Kart Live, because Daniel was all about it. I got the Mario today. I was so mad because Walmart canceled it. I pre-ordered Luigi. They canceled it. No warning, no nothing. If you're not following Bobby Vu on Facebook, you need to. That guy is amazing when it comes to deals. He like puts up deals if you watch, besides all his other stuff that he does.
so
He messaged me and he said, "Hey, look, before I push this," he said, "Go now. Luigi's there on Amazon." And I got the Luigi on Amazon. So that's coming tomorrow, because he knew. I was pissed. I was like, "Come on, really? I paid for it and all. You took my money and now you just cancel it for no
The
reason."
purpose of a reservation. It's like, you hold the item for me. There's an old Seinfeld
And
gag about it, you know?
Doug's, as soon as Doug found it, he sent it to me. So it wasn't like I
gave you an early heads up. Yeah.
wasn't like I was at the back of the list, because Daniel and I wanted to do some videos, so he's gonna have an unboxing for that. But I want to give a big shout out to him. Totally great, looking out for the community. So if you're not following
Bobby
him,
Boo, clean
do it.
like a mother.
Go like it.
Bobby
But
Boo's cleaning like a mother.
But guys, I mean, this is unheard of for Arcade 1-Up to be that pricey for a conceptual product. I mean, I could see the pinball, but man.
Yeah, I mean,
And
well,
that's the big
$500
Kickstarter price.
historically has always been like the breaking point where you turn into like the premium items. Like most retailers don't touch anything above 500 because they don't want to get into that premium. Oh my God, am I going to have to mark this down, or we're going to get hung with it type of thing? Because it really affects, your clienteles and things like you're not going to get clientele of Walmart walking in there randomly, for dog food and some bread and go, oh wow, $799, board game table. Yeah, throw that in the cart. That's not going to happen.
It probably won't be in Walmart. They probably will be
Exactly.
online
I mean,
only.
Right.
So-
You're like, Kickstarter is a good place for it, because this is a niche within a niche within a niche. Because like, yes, you're appealing to the board game people, but you also have to appeal to board game people that are okay with it not being physical and tactile. Then you also have to appeal to the board game people that are okay with that have a lot of money. So like you start, narrowing down the field more and more as you go.
Yeah, I never won at Monopoly, so I never had the money.
Yeah.
I'm curious for this. I would really like to get one. I think Daniel, you said we'd like to get one, but
Yeah. Can we do payment plans?
yeah, but even that.
someone
Can I donate a kidney?
someone in the chat said hungry hippos will not be it will be a swipe, not a tap.
Oh, probably. Yeah, they'll have some.
No, that's
they'll have
what they said.
Okay, they'll have some way of doing it. But
I
the
sadly
point was,
thinking
you get a little
how-
kid on there. I don't care, a toddler that's going to come over and start banging on it, and he messes up the sensor. Like, we don't know. I mean, I have young kids in my family. I mean, Doug, I don't know if you have nieces and nephews that are young, and
Yep.
or your dog decides to put his paws up on it, and if you have a big golden retriever, is it going to break it? These are things that I hope Arcade 1-Up is thinking about with their QA, and not just grandma and grandpa's house where you're going to put one of these things that are going to play euchre all the time on it.
Oh,
I mean, it'd be nice if we had conventions back to where some of us could go out and test this out and hang out and try it out. But to put that much money down on something that it's a first time product that you don't understand how it works, how durable it is, has a short manufacturer warranty. I mean, that's just a lot of gambling, a lot of rolling the dice.
Well,
If
that's
you're
what I
that
mean.
type
Do they
of
have
person,
do
go
they
to
have a
Vegas.
prototype of it? Like, John, if you're watching, Scott, if you're watching, do you have a
Yeah.
prototype that you could kind of
Play it.
demonstrate it for us or show us or something? Because I
Who
think that
knows
would
if-
answer a lot of questions, and even people paying the full price for it. I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's just, for
Who
me,
knows if it's lagging
Right.
out or the
It's-
chips already fried?
well, I don't know if the chips are already fried.
You ever
Right.
played a mean game of dominoes and you slam that final domino down? I want to know.
Or
if
Uno.
this- Yeah, or Uno.
Yeah.
Is
Uno.
domino tested for me to throw that final domino down, shove it in my family's face, and walk away, and not just cause myself an $800 bill.
Well, I think that's listen, it's a great concept. I really, like, you guys know,
I do. I
I've
love
been
it,
a
yeah.
fanboy of this
Yep.
since I saw it, and there was a lot of people that
Yep.
were like, and now people were asking me. I've had people message me on Facebook, Steve, are you gonna, you were all in, are you? I'm like, I can't justify that for $800, man. I just
I was all in when I thought I could buy
can't.
one of them for that price. Now, or like I could buy 2 of them
for
what-
that price. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, even 24-inch. If I could have got a 24-inch
No, you
for
could-
like $399, I wanted the 32 at $499. I thought that would be a good price point.
Yep.
Mhm.
But then, man, when it's like double the price, I'm like, whoa!
You could buy,
I
like-
can't do that.
you could buy
Yeah.
like 2 game consoles. Just
Well,
for
if
that.
it was tried and
PS5,
true,
Xbox are just
Yeah.
now coming out.
yeah,
Or
Same
like a
price-
Nintendo
not same
Switch.
price.
it's
And-
$500.
And I also do get it's a family type of device. This is something, especially now with what's going on. You get a family together, you sit down, you play some games. But again, at the price point, not too many people I know of would go out and spend that kind of money to play Monopoly, Backgammon, Uno, where they can play it with cards.
but
know,
it's
it's
not
just-
tried and true. The Arcade 1-Up
Yeah.
name is, or Tastemakers is tried and true. But I guess that's
Right.
where, without anybody seeing anything, and I'm not. Listen, we're not soliciting here for review units. Let's just put it out there because
Nope.
we're not saying that. Let
Nope.
them come on and demonstrate it. Let them
Yeah.
we're cool with that. Just give us something to work with here because right now pictures and a video
Won't work.
it's a great concept. It really is.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
like,
brought
if
up
you're
kind
not-
of a different point there, Glenn, too. Like you talk about the family experience and playing with friends. That's one of the cool perks is that it has that online capability.
Right.
But like, unless your friends are in the neighborhood, like say you want to play family members across the country, like it touts being able to play in different states, that other person has to spend $600, $700, $800, and that's a lot to ask your buddies to play some Uno or Monopoly with you. Hey, you want to go ahead and drop $800 and play some Monopoly this weekend? No, sorry.
Grandma, can you buy 2, 1 for me, 1 for you? We play together. We'll spend quality time. It's only $1,600 for the 2. Come on, Grandma.
no,
Exactly.
he's right.
So,
He's right.
mm.
I mean, this is. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for them that they've made almost
Yeah, I mean,
$1
it's
million
gonna happen.
with it.
That-
But I mean,
that's the positive spin here. It's going to happen. People are going to hopefully be excited about it, and it's going to last a long time and not going to have any issues with the warranty.
Mm.
But
You know what would be kind of cool? I just thought of something myself. Oh my God, I had a brain aneurysm. I thought of something. So what would be kind of cool since this is Android is if they had an app you could install on Android phones or Android tablets. So someone else could be playing without having to have the full table.
well, Glenn,
that
the
would
beauty-
help
like,
tremendously,
beauty of
but
the
it'd also
Android-
bite into their
Scott,
profits.
I gave it to you
Yeah.
free, buddy. You know I'm going to help you out.
yeah, but you know
So-
what? The beauty of Android is it can be rooted. Just give it time. It'll be rooted, and
Well,
you'll be able to.
Well, you know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if they have I bought that table. If I bought the table, put it in the house, right? And you want to play with friends, they could download an Arcade 1 app for $1.99 on their tablet or phone, and they can play that experience without having to buy a whole.
You need to stop
table.
giving them all these
I was
ideas.
just about to say that.
That's
I
what
was,
I do, man.
I
That's
was
what I'm here
about to
for.
say, like, this is what I was gonna say. I'm like, I was gonna say, well, instead of spending like $1 million on the stupid board,
He says
on
it's
the stupid table,
Well,
why not
how
just
about
download?
$1 billion?
No. He's talking about so you could
Why
play
not-
it if you didn't have the table.
Yeah,
And
why
Glenn
not?
did.
Why not just like invent a free app that has all the same dumb features about the table?
Why make
And then
it
just
free
put
when
it-
I can charge you, Daniel? Why make it free when I can
Daniel, yeah.
charge you?
Glenn,
Yeah.
you don't even know
Yeah.
how to
Go
make
with the
an app.
program, Daniel.
Yeah, he makes physical stuff. Anyways, we'll have to find out what's going to happen with this. But we have a few other things we're going to talk about. But we want to give a little shout out here to a buddy of ours that's been making marquees in the industry here. If you guys are looking for a marquee, you need to check this out. All right, so I got to work on getting that a little bit shorter. Angel, we appreciate you, but everybody in the community appreciates you for all the hard work that you do with the marquees. We use them here in the arcade. I know, Glenn, you got some. Doug, you got some. So, guys,
You
check that
got
out.
some.
But let's talk a little bit about the Nintendo thing. So I mentioned earlier here that we did the pre-order mainly because I know a lot of you guys probably are like, oh, this is great for kids, but I think you're missing the point with this, and the missing why I was excited for this. The technology in this thing is really what's got me hyped, because you're mixing augmented reality with physical like devices.
You're basically mixing your childhood.
No,
with
what
the-
I'm saying is like this.
now.
I want to see how well it works with the camera in the front of it, racing with other people, basically taking a physical racetrack, if you will, like what we used to do as kids, right? We'd sit there with a racetrack.
Yeah.
But you're playing it on a video game while the car is moving. This technology is just unreal, Doug.
Yeah, I'll be curious to hear what your guys' thoughts on like the experience of like trying to control and drive the car, because yeah, it's one thing to play Mario Kart from that back perspective.
Yep.
It's another thing when like the camera's zoomed in and it's like
Yeah.
real-time reactionary. Like, I don't know if you guys are going to look like a bunch of drunken Marios.
It could be.
crashing into the dinner
It
table
could be.
or what, but I
Or a
think
dog
that's
comes
going
by,
to really
rips it off the ground.
So
yeah, because like the VR and everything, or like the augmented reality, that could be an amazing look and experience. But like if you guys can't control the carts or keep them in a straight line or go around a turn, then you might get bored with it real quick. So I'm anxious to see what you guys think of it.
So instead of just making 2 carts,
Well,
like if you're trying to like bump someone, like how is that gonna work? Like if you're trying to
that's
like,
a good point.
knock someone off the track.
That's what we're gonna have to figure out, because like I know what he's saying, like when you
with
throw
all
a
the
turtle shell or
technology.
Your
Mhm.
foot. How are you gonna stop people from doing
No,
that?
I mean
Just
like
kick you.
Drop-
so
drop
what
kick
we're
'em.
gonna do is we're gonna film a video, and maybe we'll be able to play it next Friday night. If not, we'll put it up on YouTube
or
as
no,
well.
this Saturday night maybe.
Next Friday's Retro Buzz, we'll have some clips. I know there's some out there, Doug. I think you said there's some videos of people out there. So mine didn't get here, or ours didn't get here till what? Because Daniel did the unboxing
October
video.
the 16th.
Well, that's today, but I mean, we
But,
got it
yeah,
like a couple hours ago, and then he did the unboxing video. So I still have to edit
No,
that.
I thought you said yesterday you got it.
I didn't get it yesterday. No. I pre-ordered.
I swear you said you got
just
it
can't-
yesterday.
Never mind.
It's like an old
Old
married
man,
couple.
come on.
He doesn't listen. He's 8.
my
So anyways, so FedEx dropped it off today, and so
Okay.
we didn't get a chance to play it yet. We did the unboxing video, which I have to edit.
It's charging right
Luigi
now.
will be here tomorrow, thanks to Bobby Vu, and so we'll actually get to race against it. But rumors were that there was going to be a Donkey Kong and a Peach one that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, I'm like,
Ooh.
so I was gonna say, like, why 2 when, like, why make 2 racers when, like, I don't know, if you have, like,
Well, they figure
like
most people
friends
have
over?
multiple Switches, or like you have a friend over. Like Doug could bring Luigi and his Switch over, and Glenn could finally unbox his out and
Nope.
bring Donkey
Nope.
Kong over.
Stays in the
Hey,
box.
hey,
and
hey.
we, and we
Stays in
could
the
race it.
box.
Glenn just can buy another Switch and then just open that one.
Oh, there you go. Get a
and
Switch
then,
Lite.
like, yeah.
But I'm curious to see what, like, okay, with this, does anybody know? And I haven't really looked at the instructions, because you can go and download. The app is free
Yeah,
to play it. But are those tunnels some kind of way to keep it on track, that you go through those the cardboard? I know Nintendo's notorious with the cardboard stuff, but it has 4 of those overhangs that you would go over.
Yeah.
Does that kind of help the car stay aligned? If that's what the camera kind of sees, or
I got the impression that just kind of like helped it understand that you'd completed like a lap. Like
okay.
that's just what my impressions of it or whatever. Because from what I understand, like you can build your track any way, shape, or form. Like obviously Nintendo goes to like some extravagant means for their commercial and has like super dedicated, roped off course, so to speak. Average person's not going to put 1,000 Dixie cups in their living room, to create barriers on the side of the
Unless
road.
you're having a house
So,
party.
yeah, so I don't think there's going to be any off the track, so to speak, in your own custom track, other than going under those awnings to let it know that, hey, you've created a lap.
No, it will just like it will probably like on the camera where it's like charging when you plug it into the charging port. The camera on the back, it has a red light, and that means it's charging. But like maybe if it like if you like complete a lap, it might go like woohoo.
We'll have to see, because there's virtual stuff. But the main thing is the technology, guys. You have to pay attention to the technology, because this is just the start. I think this is going to be really
this
cool.
Is like
so
2030.
So I think it's going to be, $100. The scalpers already got it. Don't buy it for $250. I've seen a couple of them for $250. Don't do it.
Just wait.
Just follow Bobby Boo. You'll find it for $100. So he's good with it.
Well, it'll come back in stock. I mean, everybody flocks to these new items the moment they come out, and then like as stock,
everyone wants refunds.
Comes back in.
No, they don't want refunds.
Prices come back down. People don't have to pay those scalper prices. Just gotta play that waiting game.
Well, let's. I know we have the Duo I'm sorry, the 3DO was something that I picked up this week, and I broke it. No, I didn't break it. I was trying to adjust the pot.
You
so
broke
it could
the
play.
laser.
Well, because I was trying to adjust the pot, and it ripped the wire because I was trying to play backup games. I bought, before anybody starts going, oh, so he's going to play illegal games. No, I bought a bunch of games that are in, Glenn will tell you, they are in fantastic shape. One game isn't even opened. So I look at it like this. I bought the game so I can put a ROM or that on a disc as a backup.
You are legally entitled to make a backup copy.
I don't want to open it. Okay, so I'm still collecting it. I'm still buying these games. So I wanted to play backups. Well, it wouldn't play backups. And Glenn's like, well, you just burn it. It just works. Well, here the laser, just like with the Sega CD, the pot had to be adjusted. Well, it ended up ripping the cable. So I bought a new one for $50. It won't be here till the end of November. It's coming from China, so it might even take longer.
Oh, no.
But neither here nor there. I'm saying all this to bring up this, and Doug kind of peed in my Cheerios, if you will, earlier today.
I'm trying to, get your expectations in line, because yes, Analog makes amazing products, but like I jokingly said earlier, they make about 10 of them available to the public because these things sell out incredibly fast. Their last one was the Game Boy, I forget the official title, but it was basically a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Pocket. Very nice form factor, looked great and everything, and it sold out in under a minute. Their last couple of devices have all sold out within a minute or two. This one is actually listed as limited quantities available where others haven't been. So that leads me to believe this is going to be another crapshoot for trying to get this. So if you want this, better be dialed in to whatever date that goes live.
And it's $200. It's not even emulated.
It looks real nice.
And
it does look like I would buy this and put away my TurboGrafx.
I bet you would buy it for like $50.
No, I'd buy it for $200.
For $200.
Yeah, it's
$200 for what they're giving you here is. See, this
every penny.
This is the opposite. It's well cheaper than I can't imagine it doing it for with the FPGA, using an original Hue card slot, a front-loading CD-ROM drive. Now, the one thing about this here is, first of all, it's FPGA, which I talked about many times in the show, stating that these consoles are not going to last forever, and this is the future, right? So this is a company doing just that. Now, what they're doing here, though, is it only uses original game cards, Hue cards, or CDs. It won't take ROMs. Use like a flash card.
Would it use our flash card that we have?
Well, if you look at the card slot, I don't think it's going to fit without some type of extender. If you look at how that card slot is, these cards, you look at it, the front. Go back to the picture on it, and you'll see that card slot on the front of that machine is literally the thickness of the card. So let's just sticks out the back part of it. I'm going to say no without an adapter. But the other thing here is they're making a TurboGrafx add-on kind of for like another $30.
Bomberman.
So you can get this for $199 plus another $25. And you get the Duo and basically a Turbo Express out of this. But as far as like the flash card that we have, since I don't see that card going in yet, I don't know how far it goes in. If it goes in the right amount, yes. If it goes in all the way or further than it would, which they might want to do, because Analog's very big on using original content. So I wouldn't be surprised if they designed it that way. but it would be pretty easy to design a cue card extender, but then you still have the CDs in there. And I personally would have been fine with the original Hue cards, but there's so many games that are hard to get on CD, even if you wanted to spend the money. So
Even
I
the
wouldn't
Hue
have had a-
cards, they're overly
Right.
priced. They're like $200,
Right. Now I'm
$300
gonna be-
for one game.
And full disclosure here, the TurboGrafx 16 doesn't really have any copyright protection on it. So you can do it, but the CDs are done in such a way that it's a pain in the ass to get it right with the audio tracks being correct and so forth. But I'm amazed, really amazed at the quality. These guys push out, and at the price point that it's at, and Doug is so right, their only shortcoming is they do not make enough. They don't.
Well, and I'm hoping, Doug, that they maybe change their their
Like I said,
approach.
that limited quantities leads me to believe that they're trying to casually tell people, "Hey, expect to be disappointed."
Well, they said the same thing about these Nintendo Mario Kart Live, and they pretty much did the same thing. Like they,
Well, Nintendo's still a bigger company, and what they consider limited quantities and what these guys consider limited quantities, there might be 4 of them.
well,
That's why it sells out in like a second.
I don't know why they know people want this stuff, and they're only going to make 4 of them. It's
Well, that's
Right.
I don't understand why they don't just do a pre-order window and then just go make that many and say, "Okay,
Right.
we thought we were going to sell 500. Turns out there's 5,000. Oh well,
Right.
here you go, manufacturer. Here's a PO for 5,000 units instead of 500."
Listen to Cool Toy, because that is exactly the right way to go. I mean, I understand it when they designed this. First of all, they designed this for years. It's not something that's done in a few minutes. They fully took the hardware of the TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine, the Duo, the SuperGraph. Let's not forget about that. This will also play the SuperGraph on this machine and become a Turbo Express, all in FPGA. You got to design all that. Then design the case, the electronics, get it all put in there. Why limit yourself to 50 units when you can put it on Kickstarter or some other means to find out how many people want this? Because there's going to be a lot of people who would want this because, I know I'm rambling, the CD-ROMs are, they're not the most robust things in the world. They break. A lot of people with these CD-ROMs would like to get something like this to play the original content. Make them available in a quantity that we can get them in.
I agree with you, and I'm to that point now. Just even with the 3DO, like I have no way to play it unless I get that system fixed. Well, I mean, I could play it in emulation and everything
No,
like
you
that.
can't.
But I would be at the point where I would probably sell it for parts, sell the games, and then go buy games for other systems that I have that I'm collecting. But
I'll give you $5 for it now. Just send it to me. $5.
No, no.
I just bought a second controller for it. So I'm gonna get the laser and get it fixed, work on it. But I think that I would buy this, even a portable handheld.
Right.
Doug, you'd probably buy the Turbo Express one. I think they said that they.
Oh, absolutely.
They had
I
some-
would buy it
Right.
if I could buy it.
If you could buy
Right.
it. I mean,
If
people would do that. I mean,
Mhm.
especially when it's not emulated. So
Right.
neither here
And
nor
that's,
there.
that's a key fact to remember, people. FPGA is not emulation.
Right.
It is recreating the hardware in a chip. And if you look at like the Atari flashbacks, right? A lot of them, pretty much all of them are emulated except for the Flashback 2. The Atari Flashback 2 is actually recreated hardware on a single chip. Okay, so that you can't get any more close to the original machine than the original machine. This is not software. There's not going to be lag. Whatever the original machine did, whatever issues it had, didn't have, is going to be recreated in here to perfection. And this is the future, which is why I really don't understand why they limit these so much. I get really excited about this type of stuff because these older machines are just going to die out. And software emulation, sometimes there's no choice. Like in your case with the 3DO, there's a program called Phoenix. A gentleman in Russia or the Ukraine. It's the best one you can get. It's in Russian, but you can get a patch. But it's still nowhere near the performance or perfection of an actual 3DO console. This is the way things need to go. And they could, it bothers me a little bit because like the last console, like Doug said, it was sold out in like a minute. I mean, unless you were there, you weren't getting it. And they make really nice stuff. It's not like the stuff's like, okay, they make really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And people wouldn't care to buy, and spend the money for it.
Especially at that price.
Especially
That's an
at
unbelievable price for it.
$300. I would do it
Well,
because, like you said, it's not going to last forever. Your hardware.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a shot at Polymega because their price point is considerably higher, if I remember correctly. Aren't they around
Right.
the $399, $499
Right,
price
and they
point?
originally said they were doing FPGAs, and they kind of
Yeah.
jumped ship and
It's
went
not
to emulation. So that's why
Somebody
Modern
brought that
Vintage
up in the
Gamer kind
chat
of
room.
looked at it, and it's a good machine. It's a good machine. It is. But now when you compare that to this, for $199 and get a Turbo Express for another $25 more,
Yeah.
it's not even a no-brainer. You got to be stupid not to get it, but you can't
If you
get
can
it.
get it, yeah. If you
Well,
can
Right.
get it, that's the thing.
And that's
It's like
what
great
somebody's-
products if you can get it.
I don't know who said it in the chat room. Somebody said that earlier. They were like, "Well, what about the Polymega? Wouldn't you rather do that? Not for $500."
No.
It's just
No,
not.
and
And it's emulated.
The Polymega, one good thing about it is it supports more than one machine. You got Sega Saturn, Sega Genesis, all the different
Sure.
machines in there, but they are still all emulated. Now, if you want to know more about that Polymega, Modern Vintage Gamer did a great series on it. We really went into the technical aspects of it. And if you're a Sega Saturn fan, it's probably got the best Sega Saturn emulator in it, but it's still not perfect.
But if you're going to run emulation like that, why not run it on a Raspberry Pi for what you can need, and why not run it on your PC? You know, rather than spend $500.
Like I was saying, but if you're a Sega Saturn fan,
oh yeah,
it's the best one you're going
Notoriously
to have
hard
right
to
now.
emulate. Yeah.
right. No,
Right,
no.
so
I'm just saying
they've-
there's certain ones
They
that you
spent
can.
a lot of time, but I agree with you. For the price point, it's not worth it to me
No.
to buy a module that when I connect my game to it, it just downloads the ROM anyway, and
Right.
you don't need the module anymore. Where
Yeah.
this thing is saying, no, it's got to be the real stuff. And again, for the price point, I don't know how the hell they're doing it.
But even somebody in the chat room said here, Matt Harmon says, I don't know. I think my SNES will last forever. I still have my launch day PS2. You know, a lot of the cartridge
will.
based, they seem to last longer.
Right.
You got to remember some of the newer systems are CD based, and that's
Right.
that 3DO was working
mechanical.
fine until this guy started monkeying around with
Right.
the, wanting to play backups because again, I'm
Right.
trying to preserve it. So that tells me
Yeah.
the laser was on its way out. So it might have lasted me another 6 months, and I'd have to get another laser anyways. But
So what?
so I'm just
a lot of
helped it
times
along.
these machines that are very powerful with the heat that does them in. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at
yes,
my Pong console, my Atari 2600, those things will last probably forever.
but
But PS2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5.
But
the
you know what
Xbox-
else
the
does it in?
Xbox,
when you set it aside and you put it in a plastic bag and then you pull it out and you play it, it's the wear and tear all of a sudden. It shocks it. It's kind of like the car that you're afraid to
Well,
drive, and it's the classic, and you
you're
let it
right.
sit, and it just
You're
dry
right.
rots the second you start it up, and gas
Right.
leaks out of the. I'm being serious. I'm
like,
picking on
no,
you, but I'm
he's
also
totally
being
right.
serious.
Like, everyone knows my stuff's in the box. My switches never came out of the box. What really happens is the capacitors.
Yeah,
they
that's
dry
right.
out.
Yep.
The capacitors need electricity every once in a while, and they dry out. They leak. I just worked on a machine recently where first time I've ever actually seen the liquid electrolyte from the caps all over the board. It's like some peat all over it. So you're right. They do need that type of work. But still, the older consoles are just built with less power consumption. And, like the old Ataris, I mean, they put like a 25-pound block of aluminum for a heatsink in that thing. So it's just a different time.
Well,
Where now you want to try and cram as much you can on a single chip that gets very hot with not good cooling.
how
and it
long?
burns them out.
How long has your Switch been in a box?
When did the Switch come out?
3 years ago. So Nintendo
There you
came
go.
out. Nintendo came out a couple days ago, or maybe a week ago, and they said, if you don't charge it at least twice a year, you will kill the battery.
Oh yeah, I know I've got dead batteries all over there. They're
So
dead, man.
yeah, so there you go. So with what you're buying
Wait,
and
so
everything.
the Nintendo Switch is 3 years old.
Yes, it's 3 years old.
So
Yep, it's
I was
still pristine.
You were
I
5.
I was 5 actually.
Glenn's playing that
Look.
long-term stock market
Yeah.
type of thing, where he's like, in 30 years, this unopened Nintendo Switch is going to be fetching a premium. It won't power on,
No,
but people want it.
I'm actually doing it for you two guys. I told you when I drop, you have about 2 hours to get it for cold throws out in the street.
Well,
So
you
that'll
got
be
it.
pristine for you guys.
You got to get it open before we roll out of here. We got to roll here. Tonight, I
we have an
believe.
announcement.
What's that?
We do have one announcement we have to do. We have the 4K announcement from Matt Games. They are
Yes.
a prize giveaway.
Yes. Go ahead. You go ahead with that before we get into. Well, actually, let me do this before in case people
Sure,
have
shoot.
to roll out. We have coming up, I think at 9:00 tonight, unless he changed it, which he does do that from time to. They have the Super Game Room dudes are going to be going live tonight. I think at 9:00. P-Dubs can correct me if he's in the chat room, but also Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mark your calendars. Rexer is doing a show. I know I'm going to be on. Glenn, I think you're on.
That's right.
It's every man for himself, so this could get ugly. So anytime Rexer does like trivia and stuff, it gets really competitive, and it's a really fun show. So I encourage you guys to tune into that this Sunday night, 8 p.m.
9
Eastern
p.m.
time.
Eastern time, Pete Up said.
Okay, so he'll be on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on also Rex's show Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune in for that. If you're not subscribed to him, go do so, because it's all, like I said, it's always a fun show.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll have a good time with that. I think he has a new he's in the chat room. He can tell you who's all on. I just know Glenn and myself are on, and there was a new YouTube crew that was going to be on.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
what he tries to do, he tries to bring in some new YouTubers as well. So
Yes.
there's some new people coming into the scene with it. But seriously, he's not joking. Rexer is a great guy, great show, it's fantastic. It's like going on the game show television channel when he puts something on. It's really good.
So you definitely want to tune in for that. And like I said, the Super Game Room dudes, I'm sure they're gonna they're gonna talk about a whole mess of different cool stuff tonight. So check that out. And then we have a giveaway that Glenn let's talk about.
Yep.
So.
Well, not me. At Games, PK over at Games posted a while ago. Then we hit 4K on the official at Games global fan page, which we did recently. He was going to give away either a Atari flashback or the Legends flashback console to one person in the group. And I went through a whole bunch of different systems, and we do have a winner, which is, if he's listening right now, it's Brian Bolding. Brian Bolding, I will send you an IM, and basically just pick which one you want. So congratulations to Brian Bolding of the official at Games global fan page.
Awesome. Very cool.
We're still on our way to 10,000. We get 10,000, someone's winning a Legends. That's still on the table.
A legit arcade there.
And
That's right.
They have the competition going. I can't wait to see the competition for the guys that are taking the board and they're putting it into something handheld. Just a hint, throwing it out there. No, but I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to be really cool. So at Games, they did push out some firmware this week, but a lot of it was, some bug fixes and stuff. Nothing really like jump out at you kind of stuff. So sorry at Games you didn't get no love this week, but the Gamer Mini, I believe that's out right now, and you can get that at I think mine's coming in the mail soon. But that is Sam's Club. I think people said they were getting the Gamer Mini and the Gamer.
Yeah, some people saw them.
And probably Walmart.
Might be at Walmart. So that's all. I think we hit everything that we had news-wise, guys. Doug, anything that you need to announce this week? Any new videos coming that you need people to check out?
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't like self.
No. The reason I said that.
Do whatever you want.
No. The reason I said that was because he said I have to hurry up and get this MVS review done because I have a bunch of other stuff that's come in that I bought. And that scared me when he said that because that means I'm going to spend money. So I want to know, what do we got coming?
I literally, if I just rotated the camera a little bit, you'd see the pile of stuff. I've been sitting here going, do I even have time to review this stuff?
Oh my.
That's just adding up where I'm like, am I just going to play with it and not tell anybody about it? So we'll find out. Maybe not. No promises.
Hey, don't shut up and just make a video about all of them.
He said don't shut up about it. He says give us a video.
Just like
he wants me to spend money is what he's trying to tell you.
I'm telling you to
Let
make one video of all of them.
Well, I also have a review that I'll probably do on the Miss Pac-Man cabinet that's coming, as if there's not 50 million out there. But again, I like to try to take a different approach. We're gonna do that with the MVS. I'm gonna have some people in here. Give real world experience, real world feedback on it, rather than because Doug handled the overview. I'm not even going to touch it.
Yeah, great. He did a great video.
If you want to see an overview,
how do you follow? Thanks, Doug. How do you follow that up?
I'm not even going to touch it.
This is what you do. This is what I'm challenging anybody that's like, oh, I don't want to do an MVSX review. Everyone's already done it. I want to see the most artistic writings on the sides of these cabinets because they're getting auctioned off for charity, and that's one thing I want everybody to
yours is
remember.
There's only a few that are getting on. Mine is not. Mine had no paperwork with. There's nothing on the side of my cabinet.
Oh well, I was under the impression that all the travel. I digress. Never mind. Let me backpedal that. Okay. Do whatever the heck you want. I don't
Yeah.
know. Nobody tells me anything. Jesus.
No, but
Just sit here and drink my tea.
But no, seriously, like I'm all about when I watch a review video, if I'm watching yours or anybody else's for that matter, it's like I look at it and go, how can I make it different so that people want to watch it, right? So I have this game night, so I figured the best thing to do to give real people what real people think about it, not guys that are on YouTube and doing live shows
Real
and
world
stuff.
review. Yeah.
I'll give my opinions of it, but mine's also coming from a guy that messes with all this other stuff. So anyways, look for that. That'll probably be coming out later this week. Glenn, do you have anything coming up? Any updates? Anything that you want to throw out there?
Which I'll hate on.
I always get that thumbs down from your son, man. He's awesome.
Awesome.
I just wanted to say that the Star Wars joke is in full production, and we're expecting to start shipping them to the backers next week. So the Star Wars joke will be out there, and I will say it plays awesome with Star Wars Squadrons. That is a great game, and this yoke works phenomenal with that game. Really, really good. So that's it. So my next video will be, I don't know, but probably just
I'll hate on it.
Squadrons with it.
Don't tell my wife, but I'm thinking about next weekend. I'm thinking about buying PlayStation VR. I'm like,
I can't
well,
wait.
because here's the thing, and I'm just going to be completely
excited.
I'm going to be completely transparent with everybody here, and this is again not a sob story, but I'm going to say it. The reason I didn't buy it before was because of my nose. I couldn't fit it inside the VR glasses, and so now that my nose is half the size it was before, and
You
it's
can
normal.
actually-
Once I get
Good
the bandage
reason.
off, I can then fit it inside the VR and experience this because that's
Man,
the
I
real
hear you
reason.
have the same problem with blue jeans. The same problem with blue jeans.
Oh, wait. Are you becoming to turn
So
fat?
that's something I'm going to look for to try to get.
I wasn't ready for that. I'm sorry. That was so good.
I even thought about getting the Oculus too. I mean, a lot of people are saying the
That was
Oculus was pretty good. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's something that's coming. Daniel, where can they find you at if they want to hear
on
your
what-
Danisms?
Punished in my bedroom, Dad. Punished in my bedroom.
Shut up, Glenn. You can find me on Instagram at Dan's Arcade.
It's right there on the lower third for you too. I even made it easy.
Ta-da. Yeah, like my dad said, I just did a review on.
No, you did unboxing.
I did it unboxing, whatever.
Yeah.
On my dad's YouTube channel about the Mario Kart chip
The
thing.
live. Yep.
Live.
So I got to get it edited and
Go
I'll get it
check
up
that
so you
out
guys can go.
Once he does all of that crap.
He wants to be a YouTuber. I hate doing unboxings, so I figure what better way to do it than I'll film him and do all the camera work and stuff and let him be the host and do the unboxing. So
There you
I
go.
could do the unboxing. You could do all the tech
well,
and stuff.
we're gonna tag team it. So going forward, that's what's going on. So anyways, guys, we took up enough of your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in a little bit extended here. We got anything special next week? I know, Glenn, you've been working on trying to get the guys from 3DO on at some point. Glenn?
Glenn, is he dead?
We lost him.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Huh?
He just looked so stellar there. I wonder if Cole pulled his internet out. Wait, let's see if he's
Oh wait,
back.
I saw him moving.
Wait, there he is. Now he's moving.
Ooh.
I thought maybe Cole pulls your plug. I
thought your
was
son did.
I was about to say next week or you're working on trying to get the guys from 3DO on, right?
Yeah, Trip Hawkins, who is the founder of Electronic Arts and the father of the 3DO. I've been talking to him for quite some time, but obviously the guy's a multi-gazillionaire,
Yes.
and trying to get him on the show. But I'm hoping, yes.
But also you were talking also about we might have to move the show to have the legend John Hancock on.
Right. John Hancock's also accepted to come on the show. We just need to finalize the date and time. So that might be on a Saturday, though.
We
because,
might
you
have
know,
to do it
he's
on
a
a Saturday. So
Yeah, he's a school teacher,
Yes.
and his hours are kind of weird.
So don't panic, guys. If you see us switch the show, it's not because we have to do it with the guests. But also, we'll converse. Maybe we'll have the guys next week to talk around. We'll get the guys from Complete Geek TV back on, I think, to talk about some of this stuff because I think they bring a lot of insight. Would you guys like to see that? We'll get the guys from Complete Geek TV back on. Maybe Doug will, have you ping them up see if that's something that they want to do next week. We were kind of hit or miss this week, so
We're trying to make Doug Breaks Our Bank Account the show on.
no, we're not gonna do that.
So it'll be on FX.
All right. Anyways, for us here, guys, we really appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week for more of the Retro Buzz. Take care.